If you've ever wanted to bubble wrap your child from the world, believe me, I hear you. But as a 90s bubble wrapped child, can I just share? It actually makes life so much more difficult to have to learn skills later on in life. See, here's the hard truth. I know that my mom was coming from a beautiful, loving, caring place, just like I know that you are as well when you're trying to protect them from everything that's insanely traumatic and scary and intimidating about our 21st century. But we can't protect them from everything. So what can we do? Let's focus on today's podcast topic, resilience. Instead of wrapping them up in bubble wrap, we are going to provide them a trampoline so they know how to jump back up, bounce back up, and move forward when things get tough. So resilience, not the buzzword version that we see flying around, but the real science-backed, heart-led kind of resilience that comes from connection, emotional safety, and allowing for vulnerability, even when it's really messy. Welcome to the Mindful Toolbox. If we don't know each other yet, hi, my name is Sarah Lynn. I'm the proud owner of Bettering Youth, an academic tutoring company that blends well-being coaching, a cognitive behavior therapy specialist, and a drinker of matcha tea. So let's dive in. Let me tell you about a boy. We'll call him Alex. Alex had been doing well all year. He was staying consistent, he was showing up, he was really putting in the effort. But then a mock exam came, and the result was lower than what we were expecting. And I could see it in his body, the slumped shoulders, the shame, the overwhelming joy was sucked out of his soul. And he told me, I tried so hard. What's the point if I still messed up? I tried so hard, Sarah Lynn. And honestly, I've had that feeling too. That punch in your gut moment where effort doesn't seem to match results. But this was a turning point for Alex. Not because we got the result that we wanted the next time, but because we opened it as an opportunity to discuss what it means to mess up but keep going. We unpacked the paper, of course, not just academically, but emotionally. And yes, you can unpack a maths paper emotionally. What did he tell himself when he saw the mark? What story was he writing in his mind about what this mark said about who he was? What label was he attributing it to? And bit by bit, we started to shift the narrative. We created space for disappointment because if we ride the wave, we name it, we tame it. We created space for that disappointment without letting it define him. And let me tell you, the next few weeks were not perfect. They were not perfect, but there was grit, there was openness, there was growth. This is the messy middle of resilience that not a lot of people are talking about. We use it as a word to say we're so resilient or we appreciate it, but we're not actually open to the vulnerable, messy, ugly middle. That is what we're diving into today. Let's zoom out for a second. What do we actually mean when we talk about resilience? See, the common misconception is that resilience means bottling things up and pushing through even when you're not feeling good or pretending that everything is fine. But it's actually the complete opposite. It's not about pushing through at all cost. As Dr. Brené Brown said, and she's my homegirl, so you will definitely get to know her, vulnerability is not weakness. It's the birthplace of courage, creativity, and connection. True resilience is built when children are allowed to be vulnerable and supported. It's saying, this is hard, and I'm feeling it all, and they're really heavy emotions to feel. It feels ugly, like I've ugly cried. And from a research perspective, we know that resilience is shaped by a mixture of external and internal factors. We have something like grit, that sustained passion and perseverance for long-term goals, coined by Angela Duckworth. We have growth mindset from Carol Dweck, the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. You know, that perseverance, that persistence, dedication to the art of the skill. And the protective factors, as outlined by Dr. Kenneth Ginsberg's 7 C's, including connection, competence, control, and character, and all of the others. But here's when it gets really interesting. One of the biggest predictors for resilience, having one stable, committed adult who believes in us. Just one. And that, my friends, is where you come in. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to show up. Be steady. Listen. Hold space. And remind your child, I'm here, and we'll figure it out together. That right there, that's resilience in action. Okay, I want to have a quick pause with you because these kinds of conversations, they can stir up a lot of things. When we have children, they often act as the mirror to what we did or did not receive in our own childhood. So maybe you're starting to think about your own childhood, or a recent meltdown at the kitchen table, or a time that you wish that you handled something differently. Let me be the first to tell you that you are not alone. Every single parent that I work with is in it. They're in the arena. And I am too. I'm still learning to model resilience myself, and I still have moments where I catastrophize or get stuck in a shame spiral. But every time that we catch it, even if it's just once in a while, and we show up differently, it counts. Okay, let's get in to what you're actually here for, the actionable steps. Let's bring in what you can do to support your child in building this trampoline that will resiliently propel them into their future. The first is to praise effort, not outcome. Unfortunately, our school system right now is not conducive to this approach, right? We look for the grades. We talk about, did you pass? Did you fail? Are you in the set that we were hoping that you would be in? Everything is very outcome specific. But when we use language that tells the brain that it's effort that matters, and that trying is where we see the growth, the progress, that unlocks resilience and growth mindset and grit and passion and the skills that will serve them beyond the classroom. Here are a couple of lines that you can borrow from me. Wow, I saw how long you stuck with that. You didn't give up even when it was frustrating. I'm so proud of you for going back to the question that you originally skipped because it was really tricky. These are sentences and phrases that my students will hear continuously in our lessons. It's not that the outcome doesn't matter. Of course it does in the long run, but it's building the confidence, the muscle of wanting to learn, wanting to try. Okay, number 2 is to reframe failure as data. We say this all of the time. What did we learn? What did we learn? When something doesn't work, ask, what surprised us? What would we do differently next time? If we're talking about an exam, it could even be the fact that they spent too much time on content that felt familiar. This is such a trap that students fall into. They're getting ready for their GCSEs. They open up their science textbook. Equations. That kind of feels a little bit familiar. I'm going to start there and completely push to the side the things that they actually need to work on because it's so intimidating. We need to help our child detach their worth from the result and instead focus on the process. They are definitely someone who puts in top tier effort every time. Number 3, model it yourself. This is a vulnerable one. I know it is. It's not easy to admit when we've done something wrong. But next time you do, next time you mess something up, name it. I'm feeling really disappointed in myself today. I tried filming, it didn't work, and instead of trying again, I just decided I was going to stop. I made a mistake, and it stung. But I've done a little bit of reflection, and I'm trying to figure out what I can learn from it. The kids, just like we talked about in episode 4, when we went through emotional regulation, they don't need to see perfect. They need to see us recover. They need to see us pick ourselves back up and try again. That leads us to number 4. Build predictable routines. Sarah Lynn, what does a routine have anything to do with resilience? Well, resilience grows in safe environments, and predictability helps kids feel secure, especially through tough times. So even when everything else feels chaotic, try anchoring in small rituals. A regular family dinner, a bedtime chat, every morning asking what's one good thing that you're looking forward to today. Just small little check-ins that can be upheld regardless of where you are in the world and what's going on around you. These little rhythms offer grounding, which is especially important when emotions are high. So if we've got exams coming up, what kind of routines can you put in place to help them feel safe and supported within their environment? Okay, I know this week was a bit of a quicker one, but I want to invite you on a small challenge. One thing that I encourage all of our families to do is implement family meetings. Now, family meetings, you can go back into our original series of the Mindful Toolbox podcast. It is episode 2, Better Communication. We talk all about how setting up family meetings can really support that family dynamic.
Incredible. They help us to increase our communication with one another. It's an opportunity, especially if it's done on a weekly basis, that every member of the family knows that on a specific day, at a specific time, they have your undivided attention to bring up things that are on their mind. It's also a great place that is dedicated for your child to practice communicating. We want them to feel comfortable to communicate how they feel within the family home. So when they go out into the world, they also feel as if they're able to express their feelings.
In these family meetings, it's the questions that are the most important. And you can do it structured in a family meeting, but you can also just do it in your day-to-day. I want you to start asking them, what was the hardest part of the day? And then after they tell you, I want you to ask them to go a step further. How do you think you're going to show up differently tomorrow? Or what are you proud of for how you showed up today? And you're probably sitting there and you're saying, Sarah Lynn, my child is not going to answer that question. They're going to tell me, I don't know, and roll their eyes, right? Like teenagers do. It's okay. Try again tomorrow. And if they can't tell you theirs, model them yours. Today, my hardest part was turning on the camera when I really didn't feel like it. But I'm actually really proud of myself because I was able to flow better than I thought I would once I got into a rhythm. We're not looking for a perfect answer. The message that we're sending is, I believe in your ability to handle difficult things. So, if this resonates with you, I'd love to hear what really landed. Come find me on Instagram at Bettering Youth Tutors or at the Mindful Toolbox _podcast. We're building a community of parents who are leaning into the mess and the magic together. And we'd love to have you on board. Thank you so much for being here with me today. This podcast is such a joy to create because I hear you coming back to me with what you resonated with and the deep work that you're doing and the daily work of showing up and raising kids who are emotionally strong, independent, capable is not easy work. So I see you, I applaud you, I encourage you, and I am rallying you forward. And hey, if you want more stories, strategies, or deep dive conversations, come visit me at betteringyouth.co.uk. You're going to find real student case studies, more helpful blogs. We have over 120 of them, and more about the tutoring and coaching that we offer. I am so grateful to walk this path with you. You're doing so much better than you think. Until next time, be gentle with yourself, drink some water, breathe deep, and join me on Thursdays with your cup of tea, and I'll bring the tools. See you then.